Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing new cozy mystery releases for January 2024, the first one for 2024, wow. And we're just gonna hop right in. I have 16 new releases to get to. I also recently did a most anticipated cozy mystery release video for 2024 for like the first half of the year. So if you want to watch that, I'll also have that linked above for later. And hopping into our first one. Our first one is a Sherlock Holmes kind of inspired one. It's called The Sign of Four Spirits, a Sherlock Holmes bookshop mystery. It's book 9 in the series, written by Vicki, Delaney, and it's coming out on January 9th. So our main character in this is Gemma Doyle, and she is involved with a psychic fair in this one. So she lives in West London, and she's the owner of the Sherlock Holmes bookshop and emporium. She doesn't really want anything to do with the psychic fair, but at the urging of Donald Morris, who's an enthusiastic Sherlockian, she finds herself talked into attending a seance. Along with baker and best friend Jane Wilson, her store assistant Ashley, and former pop star Bunny Lee. But to her surprise, Gemma finds herself banned from the seance and shown the door. So she starts to listen in from the outside of the room because she's very curious about this, and the medium actually informs a disappointed Donald that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle will not be able to make it tonight. Then suddenly, Gemma hears a voice cut off, a cry for help, and a scream. She bursts into the library to see what someone has collapsed on the table and they're dead. The windows are all completely locked, and Gemma was guarding the only door so nobody walked in by her. Meaning that someone in this room is a murderer. But who? I'm so excited for this one. I haven't got around to the series yet, but it just sounds like everything I want in life and more. And I love a good locked room mystery, plus the Sherlock theme. I mean, come on. That sounds like so much fun. I gotta get to the series. Our next pick is from Krista Davis. It's called The Dog Crossed the Lake, a Paws and Claws mystery. It's coming out on the 2nd, and this is book 9 within the series, featuring Holly Miller. And she works at like a pet hotel, so basically the like inn is very pet friendly, so like owners can bring their cats, their dogs. There's like, you know, there's like yappy hours, like all these fun themed things. I've read the first book of the series and it was really cute. And so in this one we have quite the dog tale. So Holly, one day she spots this dog who doesn't appear to be with anybody, and it's like this pretty reddish brown dog. She's unfamiliar with them. What she doesn't expect though is to wake up the next morning and have that dog in her bed with her and her own pets. And she's just like, okay, but her dog seems accepting. Trixie's like, cool, okay, whatever. So Holly's like, okay, let me find out who this dog belongs to. And she's excited when she finds out that it actually belongs to her cousin, who she hasn't seen since he was like a kid, since they were children. So Josh is now camping across the lake with his girlfriend, so she returns his dog. They kind of catch up a little bit, and then she actually ends up finding his dog again. So she goes to return the dog to Josh and his girlfriend, only to find that they have disappeared, and in their tent is actually one of the Sugar Maple Inn, which is her inn, one of the guests, and they're dead. Really creepy, really weird. I'm super curious about this one. I think it has a great premise, and what a cute cover and concept, right? So if you're a fan of Amanda Flower, this one is recommended for you. It's called Deadly to the Core, a Cider House mystery. This is a new mystery series by Joyce Tremel, and it's coming out on January 16th, 2024. Our main character, Kate, inherits her great uncle's fruit orchard, and that kind of jumpstarts our story. So Kate is 35 years old, and she's unfortunately lost her husband in a tragic car accident, and while she's physically moving on, she has never been emotionally ready to move on. She's not sure she ever will, but she kind of gets a new start with life when her uncle leaves her this inheritance, which is this fruit orchard right outside of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So she moves out there and she's really excited to do something with it, and she wants to open a cider house. She's really excited about this. She throws herself into it. Unfortunately, the orchard manager is soon found dead on the property, and she's involved in the case, and a lot of people are kind of looking at her suspiciously as well, especially her Uncle Stan's lawyer, who's not quite believing what she's saying, like that she found the body. So there's some questions around her innocence, and she just really wants to be successful with this new phase of her life. So that's kind of the premise for this. I think it is a really amazing premise. I've never read a cozy mystery with like an orchard or like cider house setting, so I think that's super interesting, really fun. Okay, this one is just too much fun, guys. It's too much fun. Like, when you see the cover, you're going to lose it. It's called Murder at the Blarney Bash, a Beacon Bakeshop mystery. It's book 5 in the series, written by Darci Hannah. It's coming out on January 23rd, 2024. So for starters, this is a St. Patrick's Day cozy mystery. And secondly, the dog on the cover is a Newfoundland, which are like the biggest dorkiest dogs ever. They are so cute. I could never have a dog that big. I don't think, like, I've always been around like smaller dogs, so I feel like I'd be a little intimidated, but they're so cute. Oh my goodness. So the plot for this one is Lindsay, she's baking up a storm. She's making shamrock sugar cookies at the Beacon Bakeshop, which is a lighthouse on the shores of Lake Michigan, where she is selling her cookies and stuff, and she's an amateur sleuth. She's making Guinness chocolate cupcakes, Irish soda bread, and it's all for the well-timed grand opening of the Irish import gift shop, which is called the Blarney Stone. And it's owned by her boyfriend's uncle, Finnegan O'Connor, who recently relocated from Ireland himself. But Uncle Finn himself is a little bit full of Blarney when he reveals that he has stolen a pot of real gold that he claims was from an actual leprechaun. And his fortune takes a turn for the worse when he's actually arrested for the bludgeoning of a small, unidentified man dressed as a leprechaun. And the murder weapon is alleged to be his now missing walking stick. While he may enjoy believing he's outwitted a leprechaun, he would never be so deluded to actually clobber one. So Lindsay is now involved in the case, and she's going to need more than the luck of the Irish to seize a golden opportunity to catch this killer. Everything about this sounds amazing. This is on my TBR, like, as a cozy mystery series. I haven't got to it. I need to. It sounds so much fun. And there's a Newfoundland. Darling. Next we have book 2, Malvern Mysteries, and this is part of Kate Wells' series. It's called Stranger in the Village, a brand new page-turning addictive cozy mystery. And basically a body is found in Malvern End. It's coming out on January 30th. So our main character in this is Jude Grey, and she's worked really hard to bring equilibrium and balance to the Malvern farm. And the only thing that's kind of throwing a wrench in things is there's this kind of sleazy, overly charismatic townie, and he's just not fun to be around, and she just doesn't understand how his wife Linda puts up with it, but her friend and the wife Linda kind of join her for tea regularly. Unfortunately, things go for the worse when there's a hit and run nearby and they don't know who did it. There might be a murder, and there's also been this mysterious stranger in red trainers who's been walking the town at night, and Jude is really disconcerted with this. Obviously it's really weird. She doesn't know what's happening, so she starts to get involved in the case again. So this was a new series to me. I haven't heard of it, but let me know if you've read this or any of the other ones. I always love to hear your guys' thoughts. This next one is so cute. It's called Beagles Love Layer Cake Lies, a small town culinary cozy mystery. This is part of the Beagle Diner cozy mystery series. It's book 4 in this series, written by C.A. Phipps, and it's coming out on January 31st. Our main character in this one is Lyra St. Clair, and she is an celebrity chef, and she's doing a couple weddings and she needs some extra help. Unfortunately, she doesn't have the manpower on her own to finish these projects, so she wants to host a little competition to find another baker to help her out. Unfortunately, the last time that she hosted a competition, I guess someone died, so not exactly the best track record. So we're gonna see how this one goes. I'm not sure how the Beagle plays a part, but it's really, really adorable. Like, the covers in this series are so cute. This next one is from a favorite series of mine, and that's the Scottish Shire mystery series. I read the first 2 books in this, and I recently got my hands on book 3 and 4 for Christmas, and I'm super excited. This one is Murder at a Scottish Castle, and this is book 5 in the series, written by Traci Hall. And this is a Scottish seaside cozy knitting mystery series. Our main character is Paisley Shaw, and she's a busy single mom. She owns a specialty sweater shop. She's a knitting enthusiast, and she's a reluctant sleuth. And basically, the summer days are getting shorter in the seaside village. The annual bagpiping competition at Ramsay Castle is going to be a really big end-of-season blowout. Paisley has snagged a special invitation from the Dowager Countess, who wants to showcase Paisley's cashmere goods in the castle gift shop. And she's also brought along her son Brody, who's about 9 or 10, and her grandfather and their black Scottish Terrier Wallace. Now, there's a fierce rivalry between Robert Grant, the Earl of Lennon, and last year's winner Jory Baxter, and Grant has loudly vowed to show up the blowhard Baxter and claim clan bragging rights. Unfortunately, the reigning champion has barely put the reed to his lips when he turns red and collapses, taking his dying breath. And the doctor on the case actually confirms foul play, suspecting that the reed may have been poisoned. So Paisley is now using her reluctant sleuthing skills to figure out what has happened here. I love this series. The writing is the most cozy. It's so amazing. It's like a warm hug, and the mysteries are always really good. I can't wait to read the next ones. This next cover is so cute. It's called Delilah's in Danger, a Petal Pusher's Flower Flower Shop Cozy Mystery, book 5 in the series, written by L.C. Turner, and it's coming out on January 12th. So our main character in this is Presley. She owns a Petal Pusher's flower shop, and basically there's this like celebrity chef in town and they want to use all these gourmet and exotic flowers, so she supplies them. However, things go wrong. Unfortunately, a poisoning scandal breaks out at the like event, and all of the fingers are being pointed at Presley, so she has to clear her name, and I just love the cover for this and the adorable dog. Had to include it for this one. I haven't read this series, let me know if you have, but it looks really fun. Coming out on January 8th, we have The Cabin Conspiracy, a Flamingo Realty mystery. It's book 13 in the series, written by CeeCee James, and this one involves George inviting Stella to stay at her aunt's bee farm for the week, which sounds really fun, really relaxing, right? And everything is all fun and games until the local gardener is murdered, and Aunt Penelope is actually arrested for the murder, which Stella and George can't believe, but George reluctantly admits that his aunt does have a little bit of a strange past, and someone actually shows up, it sounds like, at the bee farm, and they can't exactly get rid of them. That might be connected to her past. So that's kind of the premise for this. I thought this sounded super fun. I love the idea of the flamingo on the cover. I mean, come on, it's so cute. Next we have Pageants and Poison, a Pageants for Posey cozy mystery. It's book 1 in the series, written by Laura Marie Altom, and this is coming out on January 18th, 2024. This takes place in Fern Springs, Oklahoma, and this was supposed to be a nostalgic homecoming, but unfortunately, making good on her promise to handle my late grandmother's affairs isn't going so well, and she's having to close her beloved pageant shop, which makes things a little messy, especially when she crosses paths with cowboy Luke and his spunky daughter Posey, who wants to become like a pageant queen, and her, you know, the grandmother's passing has really put a little bit of a wrench in those plans. Unfortunately, the pageant parlor holds more than frilly dresses and crowns because creepy thugs are coming out of the woodwork, there's all these age-old secrets coming out, there's an obscene amount of money that is found, and Wolf, who is the main character's old high school crush, is also the sheriff, and he places Luke and her under house arrest. While under house arrest, she begins to get a little too fond of her new life with Luke and Posey, but they start to feel more like a family, and she starts to worry more about the danger that seems to be kind of emanating around them. So she has to figure out, do I cut ties? Do I stay and fight? What do I do? And this one just sounded really fun, and there's a cow on the cover. I was like, come on, there's a cow on the cover. I don't know why there's a cow on the cover specifically. It's wearing a pageant kind of outfit, but I'm curious, and it's really cute, and so it just sounds really fun. Next we have a cozy mystery collection with Easter themed cozies. It's called Easter Basket Murder, and this has 3 authors, Leslie Meier, Lee Hollis, and Barbara Ross. It's coming out on January 23rd, 2024, and it features fan favorite sleuths from all of the long-running best-selling cozy mysteries by these authors. So I'm not going to break down each of the stories in this, but we basically have like an Easter basket like promotion in a shop, there's a annual Easter egg hunt, and there's Easter itself, and there's different murders that happen on those days, and the fan favorite sleuths take over figuring it out and saving Easter. Really fun. I love the colors on the cover. Super fun. I recently read a Christmas anthology for cozy mysteries, and it was a really good time, so I think these are great ways to expose yourself to new authors or revisit your favorites. Speaking of collections, this one is the 20th in a volume. I mean, the volume 20, which is just crazy. It's the Cozy Case Files, a cozy mystery sampler, and this one involves different cozies from a bunch of different authors. So it has like the first kind of like easy sampling of all these different cozy mysteries. It is a free collection. It's coming out on January 23rd, 2024. Some of the authors include Ellie Alexander, Reese Bowen, Olivia Black, Jennifer Chow, Anastasia Hastings, Olivia Matthews, Gigi Pandian, Mindy Quigley, and Paige Shelton. And I love so many of these cozy mystery authors, so I definitely recommend it if you're just getting into the genre or you want to try some of these out. This is a good way to sample some of their series, and it's free. So might as well, right? This next one is supposed to be great if you are a fan of Richard Osman, who wrote the Thursday Murder Club, which I know is really popular. And this is called Everyone on This Train is a Suspect. It's coming out on January 30th, and it's by Benjamin Stevenson. And he is the author of Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone, which I know has really made the rounds on YouTube. So this one involves the Australian Mystery Writers Society, and they're all going to this like convention together on a train, and this is a locked room or locked train mystery. So again, a trope I personally really love. All these writers are on there together, and they're just, you know, relaxing, they're chilling. I mean, they're used to writing mysteries, but they're not used to being in one. Well, of course, a murder happens on the train, and all these characters are involved in trying to figure out who did it, because it has to be one of them. So can these mystery authors actually puzzle out a real life mystery? I love it. I love the concept so much. I'm going to read off real quick the list of characters. We have a debut writer whose perspective we're reading from, the forensic science writer, the blockbuster writer, the legal thriller writer, the literary writer, and the psychological suspense writer. And when one of them is murdered, the remaining authors have to figure out who did it. I gotta check this out. This sounds like everything I want and more. I haven't read his other book, but I have been meaning to get to it. It just sounds like so much fun. Let me know if you've read it. Next, we have a coffee lover's mystery. It's called A Bean to Die For by Tara Lush. This is book 4 of the Coffee Lover's Mystery, and it's recommended for fans of Cleo Coyle and Lucy Burdett. Our main character is Lana Lewis, who's a reporter turned barista. She's been brewing up new concoctions at Purgatory, her popular cafe in Devil's Beach, when she decides she wants to try her hand at growing her own coffee. So she secures a garden plot in the community garden, and thanks to her father and the garden's owner, Darla's got a lot of rules, but that doesn't stop someone from leaving Jack Daggett's body amongst the gardening plots. Jack is an environmentalist activist, and he's been banned from the garden previously because he had so many fights with Darla about organic produce. Lana does promise her boyfriend, who is the police chief, that she's going to stay out of the case because she's been involved in so many before. But when she learns that Jack died from an accidental overdose and Darla is a top suspect because of some shady things that happened in her past, Lana can't help but poke around in an attempt to clear Darla's name. The more she dives into the case, the more she learns that Jack had more enemies than she realized, and when more tragedy strikes, Lana really has to turn up the heat on her investigation. I love the cover for this with a little dog on the counter. I mean, so cute. It's darling. It's so much fun. And I love a coffee themed cozy, even if I don't drink coffee myself. It's just something about the cozy vibes of a cafe that are perfect. Coming out on January 25th, we have Old Bones and New Ghosts, the Marty Mickelson Mysteries. It's book 2 in the series, written by Kay Charles. And this one is a supernatural cozy. So our main character in this is Marty, and she has a unique ability. She can talk to and see ghosts, including her grandmother's ghost. And she also, in the first book, it sounds like, got these stipulations for her late father's will, and she has about a month left in this book to meet them, and she's kind of struggling. She's trying to be on her best behavior. She's not letting other people know she can talk to ghosts, because that might, I don't know, throw a little bit of a hitch in that plan for inheritance and stuff, but things start to happen. Her sister's life is falling apart. Her friend Dimitri is not really speaking to her. Her mother's roped her into some new plans in the office, and her grandmother, who's the ghost, has been digging up old mysteries from the past. And then tragedy strikes, and Marty realizes she might have to sacrifice the requirements for the trust to be able to save her family. So very dramatic, supernatural, cozy. It sounds really fun. And last but not least, if you love cats, you're gonna love this cover. It's called Murder by Candlelight, the first novel in a gripping new cozy crime and mystery series from the best-selling author of the Hilary Green and Ryder and Loveday series. This is written by Faith Martin, and it takes place in Cotswolds, 1924, and it's coming out on January 4th. So this is a village cozy mystery, very classic old style. It takes place in 1924. Our main character we're following is R.B. Swift, and he's actually written books about detective work, and he just happens to be staying nearby when the lady of the house is murdered. And so he starts to look into it, but as he does, he's finding all these family secret, and with his old friend Val, he's learning about all of these love affairs, tragic losses, and altered wills and storylines and stuff. And there's tons of motives for murder. And this is supposed to be a golden age world with a very contemporary feel, is how it's described. I love the cover with the blue and the cat, super cute. That is our last cozy mystery coming out in January. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your top 3 most excited ones are from this video, or if I missed any, let me know what your top 3 are, and I'll leave mine down below as well. If you like cozy mysteries or any type of mystery or thriller content, I post new book content every week on this channel, so I hope you'll hit subscribe and stay tuned for my next video. And I'll see you guys in my next video. If you want to see more cozy mystery release content, I'll have a playlist linked above, so check that out. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye!